Welcome back to the Chosen Life podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan A. Hacohen. Co-piloting with me today, back for another week, the man who gives me energy, gives me motivation to move forward in life. He's all about motivation, mindfulness, and self-improvement, just like the Chosen Life podcast. He's the one and only George Tremis. George, welcome back to the Chosen Life.
Thank you, Jonathan. Amazing to be back and follow up on what we were conversing about last week. And the energy is mutual. Like, I'm charged every time I'm here. I'm fired up. So I'm really looking forward to where you take this podcast today. And let's roll.
I love at points to tell you where we're going to kind of go with a podcast, but then not tell you, because I love to organically see your reaction, because you're a lot like me in so many ways. And it's one of those, the zest for life. Like, you know, that feeling when you're a kid in a candy store, or the first time you tried like butterscotch ice cream and you were over the moon and you went back to the store and your eyes light up. I see that look in your eyes and I get the same kind of look. So I had such a great experience the other week and I had to share it on the show today. So I did not bring the person yet, and with their permission, one day I will. So we're not going to name them, but I will tell you a story. And it comes back to our episode last week where we talked about, you know, the refocus, the energization of the Chosen Life podcast. We're about motivation, mindfulness, and self-improvement. This is where we're at, and this is where people want to be at. It's been clear from the comments, from the questions, from the podcast, from the Bible 3.0, and saying this is where people want to be at life. Now, again, my book launched in January called The Bible 3.0, The 6 Commandments of the Chosen Life. People are able to pick it up as a physical book, an ebook, audiobook. It's out there everywhere, George. It's Amazon, Indigo, Barnes & Noble, independent bookstores. It's worldwide, freaking awesome. Already talking about special editions in the future as a hardcover, talking about translation into other languages. It's pretty freaking neat, I gotta say. So today, what I wanna focus us on, for those people saying, okay, I got the book, I'm reading the book, I'm halfway through the book, I'm thinking about buying the book, I like the concepts. What I want to tell you is there's what is abstract, like you go to school and there's a textbook, and it's what is practical in real life.
Yep.
So today I want to talk about practical in real life. I want to share with you a real life story, which I say is a real life success story.
Awesome.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
I've been waiting since last week. Let's do this. Come
Let's
on.
do it. Okay. So picture this. I get invited to come to like a gala conference and I'm going to be their key speaker. Okay. I got the agenda. I know when they're having the meals. I know when the order of the guests are. We're all good, right? So I'm sitting at my table. I'm eating away, chatting with a person next to me. Everything is golden. And all of a sudden, I get a tap on the shoulder, and they're like, they're introducing you. You're going on soon. I said, no, they ain't. They promised me that they're going to serve food first, and people are going to have to be saturated, and then I'm going to go on right after. And they said, no. They're speaking now and the food hasn't been served. I said, they're feeding me to the hungry lions? Oh, no. So there's certain things in life that are very troubling when you're into public speaking, okay? One of them is, you know, there's a joke on Seinfeld that you never want to be the one following the great act. So when you have an amazing act, you know, they could look much better than you. But at times, you can also try to carry their energy and steal their energy. It can go both ways. So it's kind of hit and miss.
That makes sense.
When I talk to people and I'm before a room and I want to get their attention, the one difficult point to get is when they're hungry or hangry.
Yeah.
Their minds tend to shut off. They tend to be a little bit upset, and they don't tend to take the messages in very well. So I knew the first course is going to get served. I'm right between the main course and the dessert. Maybe I am the dessert. And you know what? That's a good place to be. But apparently not. In this case, things got moved around and I'm jumping in. So I'm not ready mentally or physically to do this right now. I thought I had at least half an hour, 40 minutes. So I just jump onto the stage and it's time to talk.
Good for you.
I'm not going to divulge, you know, everything that was discussed, but it's going to come through. You'll understand in a moment. So fast forward a few weeks later. Okay. Had that nice speech. Everything went very well. Had a good standing ovation. Went to the back of the room. Had copies of the book. People were coming up to me, purchasing the book, signing the book. Life was great. Okay, so
nice.
Very good. We were able to share a message. Good energy. It worked out great. You know, I kind of had to go on the fly. They went on the fly. We me and the audience, we connected. We had this synergy. People understood because I knew what realm of the world they're in the business world, and be able to connect motivation, mindfulness, self-improvement with business, and understanding where people are at, where they need to go, where they aren't, why they choose not to be, and why they can choose to be. So this is kind of where the realm went with it. So I go to another conference a few weeks later, okay? And I get tapped on the shoulder. And I see a person that I know very well. And they were at that gala that I was at.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. We hug each other. And they come up to me and they said to me, thank you, Jonathan. Thank you so much. I said, what did I do? You know, we've spoken a couple of times. That's it. It's like, how did I help you? They said, you don't even understand how much you helped me. So they said, I'm going to be honest. I haven't read the book yet. I've been listening to it online, understanding the messages. It did not hit home for me until you came to speak at my gala. And when you started to speak at the gala, and you started to say the words, I got to be honest, I felt like you were talking directly to me, that there was nobody else in the room, and everything you hit upon, point by point. I'm not getting anywhere in life. I'm making excuses. I'm not going to the gym. I'm not exercising. I'm not eating well. I'm stuck in the same rut. I have not set any goals for myself. I'm in the same place I was in 10 years ago because I never set big level goals for myself, little goals. I just worked on the day-to-day without having a big picture for myself whatsoever. I blamed other people for my situation. And when you were talking, I realized, oh my God, it's me. It's been me the whole time. I've been holding myself back. Oh Lord, I've been blaming everybody else. I've been blaming society, I've been blaming the environment. And it's all because I decided not to take charge. I never took accountability for myself once. And I went home that night and I thought about it. I thought about it long and hard. And you know what I did? I said, no. What did you do? I went the next week to my boss. I gave my notice, effective immediately. And I'm starting up my own business. And wow. I am going to live the life that I want, the life that I want to build, not the life I think I have to have or what other people build for me. I'm going to take charge. I'm going to be a commander of my own ship, and you push me to it. I saw it clearly, and you showed me the roadmap, and I'm so grateful. Thank you for changing my life. George?
That's amazing.
I was in shock. I was practically shaking. It's like the tears were in there, and I'm just like stunned, like literally stunned. Like Mike Tyson just punched me in the face, and I don't know if I'm gonna fall and collapse or I'm gonna look at him crooked and punch him back. You know, I could not believe what I'm hearing because I always said I wrote the Bible 3.0 not necessarily to make millions and billions of dollars, even though I probably will, but the reality is because I want to help people because I did not always have that help. I had to find the directions and create my roadmaps, and I did. And here I am today. And to try to explain to people what I chose to do and how I created my life systems, you know what? Here's the book. Now you got your roadmap. So I'm making it much easier. Not only that, I don't just write the book and hand it to people and take off. You can message me on social media. I'm here for you. And I'm out there. I've spoken at a book club. I go to speak at corporate functions. And the message, you know, very often I get asked for real estate corporate matters as a real estate corporate lawyer. But very often, like I'm talking right now to the Law Society. I've spoken at the Ontario Bar Association. It's all about those kind of topics. Fantastic. Motivation, mindfulness, self-improvement. So here it is in the abstract that I could say, yeah, it worked for me. But here's a person today, and I'm going to see them in another week because now I'm going to speak at their new company that they're building up.
Fantastic.
See how life works out? Pretty freaking nuts, eh?
It's amazing. It is. It really is. I mean, my first question that comes to mind is, why wouldn't somebody get the Audible book or the audio book or get your book knowing that it's worked for you, that these are fundamental concepts to living a better chosen life, and that that's a real life example of somebody that broke out of the prison of their own making in their mind because of the message that you delivered. And when you talk about it touching you, I can see it in your eyes and it resonates with me in my heart. I, in a much smaller scale, can relate to it when I'm helping salespeople evolve into sales professionals. When I take somebody that shakes when they're picking up a phone and then hangs up halfway through to being a great conversationalist and a great sales professional, I feel a sense of accomplishment touching that life. So I can understand how you feel. And the fact that your book is going to touch so many lives and you're speaking, I think is fantastic. Because the truth is, if everybody self-improved, if everybody followed, even just followed the tenets of your book, this world would be a better place.
People have come to me, including the publisher, and said, but who is this book ultimately for?
Everyone.
I want a demographic. I want to know it's 27 to 42-year-old men, women, living in urban centers, have this much income, blah, blah. I said, it's all BS. I don't care where you're at, who you are. If you, and look, not everybody can read, understandable, it might not be their first language or just may not have the ability. It's an audiobook as well. There's a format for everybody. But ultimately, I want everybody now listening to think about this. Let's say, for example, in the 6 commandments, you exercise, nutrition is strong, sleep well, consume a lot of water, you go to yoga, you go to meditation. Those are the 6 commandments of the chosen life. That's part 2 of the book. Part 1, let's say you know how your body, mind, and soul work. So you're saying, what do I need this book? I'm already an expert. I'm great. You know what I tell those people, George? Great. So Tiger Woods, right? Best golfer ever. So you're telling me Tiger Woods never had a golfing coach? He didn't need any kind of direction?
Yeah.
Roger Federer, best tennis player, never had a coach? The better you are and the stronger you are, the more coaching you need, the more motivation you need, the more mindfulness you need, because we are all very biased onto ourselves. We all think we see a certain path. It's really nice when somebody comes back and says, hold on a minute. You say, I've been doing this my whole life. I've heard this so many times, George. I have been doing this my whole life. It ain't broke, so why fix it? Well,
it ain't getting better either.
are you worth $1 billion? And then did you get here on a yacht or a private plane? No. Are you really happy with your finances? Are you happy with your education? Are you happy with how you look? Are you happy with how you feel? Everybody has a realm. You're telling me I can't be a better wife or husband. I can't be a better father or mother, a better brother. I can get ahead in life. I can get a different job. I can grow in my job. I can learn a hobby, a new passion. And I'm teaching myself to be a chef right now. I've always wanted to cook. And I don't have time, and I make the time. Everybody can grow, no matter if you're in high school, if you're in grade school, you finished school, you're in retirement. Everybody can feel better. Everybody can look better, and everybody can grow. So this person in particular could have said, hey, it's too late for me. I finished school long ago. I've already been in my career for a decade. Let's just keep it going. What's the point? I'll just get up, do it, and be... No. They said, you know what? Damn it. It's been sitting deep down within me, and he ignited that fire, but that fire was always there. Just somebody needed to wave it in a little bit, and good on them, because you know what? For that one person that chooses to redirect their life seemingly overnight, she was subconsciously manifesting it for years. But a lot of people, George, will subconsciously manifest that dream chosen life, and they're going to come to 20, 30 years later and say, oh man, what if? Oh boy, I wish I had done that. I wish I had done this.
Regret is the worst.
So how about instead of what you think you should do and aren't doing, you grab the Bible 3.0. You don't have to think about the roadmap. The roadmap is there for you, and just start finding your motivation, your passion. Be mindful to it and find where you can go with it. Let go of the barriers. Let go of what you think you can't do, what you're supposed to be, and let yourself be what you want to be. Live your chosen life.
I'm going to challenge your listeners to stop canting all over themselves. Cant is the real 4-letter word, okay? It's not the F word. The F word actually has some good connotations to it. But canting all over themselves is exactly why they end up where they are and never move forward, never self-improve. So stop. Anybody who's listening who cants all over yourself, and I can do it too. Everybody has done it from time to time, but it's about being mindful and overcoming that, right? And stop canting all over yourself. Get the book or get something and start to self-improve, and listen to next week's show as well. That's what I say, because that's a real 4-letter word. I can't do this, I can't do that. A chain of can'ts leads to a life of regret.
No, knowing you as you read my book, you know that I get passionate about certain things, and I can get quite angry, right? When I get my heated up, right? Angry in a good way, because I have passion for it. I don't want to ever hear the words always, never, can't, won't, shouldn't. We can just turn those all around. I've always been doing this. I'm never going to do that. I can't. I won't. I shouldn't.
If they say that, they're right.
I challenge those people. Whatever you think you can't do, say I can do. What I shouldn't do, I should do. Even something simple. There's one word when people, yeah, we get caught all the time, text messaging, emails, the word just. When you say, I just want to speak to you, I'm just going to get there. No, that word is weak. I want you to delete just out of your vocabulary immediately. Notice every time you write an email, a text message, a phone conversation, when you remove the word just, how much stronger it is. I'm just going to get there. I'm going to get there. Think about that. I just want to talk to you. I want to talk to you.
Oh, I hear you 100%. And what blows my mind is that we get together not often enough. But when we do get together, like in moments like this, you'll say something. I'll be like, oh my God, we are on similar life paths. Because in recent workshops, I've talked about the word just. There's very, very few moments where you should use it in a sales professional context. But in general life, just is a terrible, weak word. And it's almost like a cop out from thinking of something positively, proactively, and about what you really can do. So I'm just kind of stunned, and I didn't want to interrupt you, but you saying about just, I totally get it. And I can't believe that we've been talking about the same thing, and now we're talking about it together on the show.
And I'm bringing it full circle because that person that came to me and said to me, thank you from that conference, right? You spoke at the gala, I took your words in, and I made the choice, and I've put my life in a whole new direction. That's a lot of responsibility. Imagine now, I am akin with this person for the rest of our lives. Everything this person does going forward in their life, they're always going to look back at that monumental moment. And that moment when I spoke, they listened and it ingrained with them. And you know what I said to her? I said, I want you to not thank me. I want you to go and thank yourself right now. Because I didn't make that decision for you. I didn't tell you to do that. You looked at me and you saw the best you in the mirror, but you still went and did it. So you're the strong one. I just happen to be here. If I was your muse, if I helped show you roads, but you made that choice. And it's ultimately, I want you to be really proud of yourself. I want you to take this really in because it shows how strong you are. And the fact you could do that, you can do anything in life. And think how powerful you are. And it just, I'm so proud of them. And it brought me so much joy. And whatever direction now in life they're going to go and where they're going to go from here, when you are able to make that switch and you could say no more, and now I'm ready. But it's one thing to say I'm ready. I'm going to do it next week, next month, next year, next lifetime, whatever. I'm doing it right now. She went and did it right now. And having that kinship, now she's able to share her story with others the way I shared my story with others. Now she's going to share her story and she can inspire other people as well. See how it's all about giving it back at the end of the day, paying it forward. And that's the best part of it. So ultimately, I don't see it as a success for myself. I see the success for the system of the Bible 3.0 and now enabling other people to be able to send their messages in life. And that's the best feeling. When you can empower people to help others, wow, you've done a lot in life.
I 100% agree. So I think everybody to one degree or another thinks in terms of pictures. But for me, I deeply think in terms of images and pictures. So the first thing I was thinking about is, you know, you touched her life, but now that's like a pebble in a pond. And it's going to create ripples. That's the image that came to my mind. And she's going to touch other people and it's going to create more ripples. And that's the beauty of what you're doing here is these ripples that are going to make people's lives individually and collectively better. And, you know, she did it herself and everybody else and all the people to come will do it themselves. But the way I see this is they're almost in a void and absence like space, deep space, where they don't have anything around them other than what they're already consumed with in the prison of their own mind. And your book and your talking is that thing that comes along. Why? Because something in space will keep going indefinitely in the same direction at the same speed, the same trajectory until some other force hits it and changes it. That's you. You're that force.
When I left off with her and I autographed a copy of the book and handed her the book, and she says to me, can I pay you? I said, no. And she goes, come on, you know, you've put all this time and energy. I have to compensate you. I said, you've compensated me with your story today. You've ignited so much passion within me. And you are the reason why this book is here. And you are the reason why I wanted to write this book in the first place. So you've paid me beyond imagine. And now I want you to you found your road. There are roads in life. You found that road. You found that clear road. Here's your roadmap. Enjoy the ride. And it was the most beautiful moment we embraced. And it was fabulous. So just so beautiful to see somebody have that kind of fire within them. And I will remember that moment for the rest of my life.
Beautiful.
And it's on that note, we're going to be back next week because we're both getting teary up right now. So we're going to need to go compose ourselves. And George, people wanting to reach George Tremis, how do they reach you and be able to get your flavor of energy and passion? Where are they able to reach you?
Thank you for asking that. So I'm fortunate to have a last name that's extremely rare. So if you Google my name, George Tremis, T as in Tango, R-E-M as in money, I-S, Tremis, you'll find me all over the place on the internet, and all my social media is under George Tremis as well. And then just contact me there, and we'll pick it up from that point.
I love it. I love it. And he's always tangoing with money, so that makes sense. And you know where to reach me. You can't remember my name. You always remember Chosen Lawyer. I'm not hard to find. Bible 3.0. Pick up your copy, because next week we're going to talk about it, because when we first taped about the launch of the book, we talked about the physical book. We talked about the ebook. Next week, we're going to talk about the audiobook. So find out why we're breaking new ground, George. And this is an audiobook like the earth has never seen before. Stay tuned.
Oh.